And welcome back to The Zone. I'm Brant Fowler.
And I'm Chris Ventura.
And you are now listening to Zone 4. What you are about to hear is highly classified. Pay attention and listen at all times. And most importantly, remember, have wings, will travel. Unless you're a turkey. Then you better run. Especially this time of year. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering Zone 4. Alright, so welcome back to The Zone. This is episode 297? Is that right? I don't even know.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's 297 of Zone 4 as we keep ticking down that clock to the big, epic 300th episode coming up in just a few weeks.
Hey, Brant, did you ever do the research and find out what episode I debuted on? I know it was in the 90s. I don't remember if it was 94 or 90. Might have been. It would be ironic if it was 97, actually.
Why would that be ironic? Oh, because it's 297.
Yeah.
I think I looked it up once, and I don't remember what episode it was. And as I'm talking, I'm trying to go back through the archives and see if I can find out really quick. But we don't know yet, so we'll see. But
you can reference it maybe in the show notes if you can. It's not a problem. I was just curious to know if it was any time, if it was this one or if it was on the last one I was on.
Right. So. Yeah, while I am looking that up, I should mention we are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. You can find us each and every week on comicspodcasts.com, and you can find a plethora of other shows on there as well. Plethora, I said. Plethora.
That reminds me of the Three Amigos. Do you know what a plethora is?
Yeah.
No. Then why would you say I have a plethora if you do not know what it is? Because you're el guapo. That was the best movie, man. That made me laugh when I was a kid.
Yeah. Episode 194, I believe.
It was 194, so
yeah.
The 294 when I was on.
Yeah, you were.
Yep.
So you were right about that. So awesome. Very cool. So man, you've been around this show for 100 episodes, dude.
Yep. I haven't run away yet. And we have 2 spin-off shows.
It's because you're as insane as the rest of us. That's why.
Maybe crazier. You haven't watched that much of Brooklyn Boys yet.
No, you're definitely crazier. That's true. But I'm Gonzo, so it works.
Nice to meet you, Gonzo.
All right. So first, before we jump into things, happy belated Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you all had a great, wonderful Thanksgiving for all our friends in America, of course, and had some great food and great company.
Yeah, this is the time of year where you're the most where you sit down and you actually think about all the things you're thankful for. And the one thing, and I've said it everywhere, and I'll say it here, the one thing that I'm most thankful for this year is my family. And I don't just mean my biological family, I mean my family here as well as online, Comic Frontline, Brant, Zone 4, everybody. And I'm most thankful for everybody out there who watches our stuff, who listens to us here, who listens to us on the soon-to-be new show Gaming Zone, who listens to us and soon will be watching us on Hall of Toys, who watches me on any of the channels that I work on, who watches us on any of the channels we work on. The most thankful thing you can be when you do stuff like what we do is for the people that take the time out of their lives to sit down and listen and or watch your opinions and your random stuff on certain subjects and things. So before I ramble on too much, yes, thing I think everybody's most thankful for is you guys.
Who cares about all that?
Oh, wow, fine. We don't care, I guess, then.
I'm thankful for my podcast. I'm thankful for my comic wannabes. I'm thankful for my show, Hall of Toys. I'm thankful for my site, Comic Related. And that's it. No, that's an inside joke between me and Chris. But no, seriously, no. I would echo what Chris says. I'm very thankful for my family and friends and loved ones and all that good stuff. It's just all our faithful Zone 4 Legionnaires Very thankful for you guys. All of us here on Zone 4 are always very thankful for your listenership, your feedback, your commentary. We love interacting with you guys, and we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to listen to all of us idiots every week. So
I could hear half of the cast come back next week and go, Brand, why did you call us idiots?
No.
Why would you do that? We're gonna get you back for that now.
It's just like Mad Magazine. I don't know if anybody ever notices, but when they do their solicitation copy, it always says, every single time, it says written by the usual gang of idiots.
I did not notice that. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and check that out.
So yeah, no, we know who we are.
We're proud, dang it.
Oh no, but seriously though, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and you continue to have a great weekend, and I hope nobody got trampled on Black Friday. This is Black Friday, so Zone 4 is half off and it's already free, so you go do the math on that. But
There you go. You're getting the best deal of the year.
half off something that's already free.
I can hear a few people actually sitting there going, wait. Sitting there with a pen and paper going, what?
And the interesting thing is, it is really half off because there's only 2 of us this week.
Yeah, half the price for half the cast.
There you go. Real value right there. Oh man.
I will say one thing about Black Friday that I'm kind of a little upset about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was up. I'm always, you know me. I'm always up to like 5, 6 in the morning. Anyway,
Yeah.
There were no sales anywhere really. Mostly, I was seeing 50% off, and I went on Best Buy because I'm doing the 25 days of Game, so I'll talk about this at the end of the show. But I was hoping to find some games on sale, and no. I found one game that was $50 and it was half off. It was sold out on Best Buy, but thank you God, I love Amazon.com. They echo any website sale.
Oh, nice.
So I still got it for $25, but
Nice.
still, that was it. Everything else was basically same price. Oh, I got another game for $10. It's very hard to do online sales, online, because,
Yeah. Cyber Monday's coming, Chris.
I don't think, did Amazon participate in Cyber Monday?
I don't know. I thought they did.
I think they did too. I don't know, but the games that I have on my list, I guess, are games that are like, you're not allowed to put this on sale. Because the only games that went on sale are like games from like the PlayStation 4 years ago, and earlier.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, they do. There's actually a link, Amazon.com/Cyber Mondays.
Oh, there you go. But a lot of their stuff is books and hardware,
Right.
not really software, and movies. Books and movies. I noticed last year I got a lot of movies for like $10. Not really games, and this year I really don't have that many movies I want. So the things I want to go on sale aren't.
Right. Yeah. Around here, I don't know if it was this way everywhere, but like Walmart was open at 6 o'clock p.m. on Thanksgiving Day.
So was Macy's over here.
Was it? Okay. So I'm sure a lot of stores probably doing that now, which sucks. I don't think they should open on Thanksgiving Day. That's just...
Could you imagine the employees? Well, some of them probably don't care, but some probably do at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of an echo, by the way.
Oh, give me a second and I'll fix that. Keep talking.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, it's going to hurt the echo. Just try to talk low.
I'll just cut it out.
Okay. Earpiece. I know why, probably, too.
Why?
Because I have the website open now with the 15. Better?
Let's see. Testing. Yeah, much better.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going, then.
All right. Yeah. So I think it's crazy to do those on the Thanksgiving Day. It just takes away from the holiday. Like you said, though, there are probably some people that may not have a lot of family in the area or whatever, and maybe they prefer to work on it. So who knows? Plus, you get holiday pay. So Can't complain
Right.
about that.
Oh yeah, holiday pay. I remember when Cindy worked in the clothing store. It was time and a half plus.
Right. So not too bad, I guess. But there were some really good deals. There was like a 50-inch TV for it was 1080 50-inch. I think it was a. I don't know if it was a LCD TV. I think for like $200 and something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, big deals like that. So those,
Yeah, but see, again, that's hardware. With me right now, I don't really want a new TV yet. I would like a new laptop at some point.
You need a new laptop.
I do. I really
desperately. Anybody out there that feels so generous just needs a laptop.
Yeah, please. I'll accept that. Even if you want to build it, as long as it's good.
There you go. Oh shoot. But yeah. Cool. So what did you do for Thanksgiving?
Well, I helped my mom. This year, usually my family does the cooking and I just do the eating, but as times move forward, with Tommy now, I decided to up my game a little bit. I did a lot of the cooking this year, actually, and I had a great time. You know me, Brent. I love cooking. Mm-hmm. So one thing I did learn, and I'll tell the story here, too, because it was that funny, and in case you guys didn't check it on Brooklyn Boys, I learned not to glaze a cake or a pie at 5 in the morning, half asleep, because it'll definitely come out bad. See, it was an apple pie, and it had the you could put the caramel topping on some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I woke up and I was like, oh wait, we took the pie out. I have to put the topping on before we put it in the fridge, and then I was half asleep. I wanted to go to bed, so I got up out of bed, went over to the pie. And then, thank you, Mom. Yes, that was a classic. And my mother just had to walk into the room and say that was a classic. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Awesome.
So, I woke up, and, you want to make a circle on a pie, right? You want to make it so that every piece has, a piece of the caramel. Well,
sure.
Apparently I squeezed hard on one part of the pie and not on the other because it was a thin line, then a thick filled with caramel line. Then it gradually went back. I don't understand how my grip just thinned up when it got closer, and then it thickened up again on the other. And then I tried to move it. I was like, okay, well, I'll just take this knife and I'll just push it over a little bit to maybe the center or to the other side. You don't do that with caramel because apparently it sticks to the crust. And as I'm trying to move the caramel, it was breaking the crust on the top up. So I quickly moved it back and smoothed it out so it didn't even look like I moved it to begin with. And then what's worse is I covered it and put it in the refrigerator, and then somebody put it on top, something on top of it. So when we took the cover off, all the caramel was stuck to the tin cover. So we took it off, and I'm like, oh, yay, second chance. And, well, you can go on my Instagram, which is instagram.com/DarkAvengerC86, and you can see the end result of that. Awake, it still looked like a mess. Brant saw it. Yeah, I'm sure he's laughing at that.
That's hilarious. But I guess the important thing is, did it taste good?
Hell yeah.
All right, then. That's all that matters. Oh, that is funny. So you had a good time, though.
Oh, I had absolutely awesome. Good time. And Tommy enjoyed his first Thanksgiving. He had a little bit of everything, little tiny pieces of everything. I wanted to give him a marshmallow. Mom's like, no! I'm like, okay, fine, jeez.
That's awesome, man.
I still have my drumstick. I only ate half of it. It's in the refrigerator.
I used to do that when I was a kid. I don't like dark meat anymore, but I used to, every Thanksgiving, my nana would put the drumstick aside for me.
I love the dark. I only will eat because the white meat on a turkey tastes like the white meat on a chicken. It's not eating turkey. You're eating chicken then.
I think it's different, but okay.
I don't know. It's just me. Remember, this is me we're talking about.
No, I mean, that's fine. Everybody has their preferences.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the white meat on either chicken or turkey. So.
I thought you were a vegetarian.
I eat chicken and turkey. I eat bacon. What are you talking about?
I thought it was vegetarian bacon.
No, I'm not a vegetarian. I just don't eat certain kinds of meat. That's all.
Okay. Right. That's right. Duh. Chicken isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like to say chicken should not be classified as meat. It should be classified as bird.
Well, technically it's poultry, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, yeah, I eat pork, so I do eat bacon and sausage and stuff like that, so. It's not even like I'm not gonna eat stuff with the face kind of thing. It's I just don't like red meat and I don't like fish, seafood. So
Oh, then you'd hate my house on Christmas Eve. We are, as an Italian family, we don't eat meat on the night before Thanksgiving. Very good. On the night before Christmas.
hmm
So, can you imagine the pain I go through for 24 hours? One year I couldn't take it and I got Burger King.
Too funny.
But now I eat clams, so I'm okay.
Gotcha.
I survived somehow by eating clams and shrimp.
Mm. I used to eat shrimp when I was a kid. I don't know. As I got older, my taste buds changed, and I just didn't like that because I used to only eat like red meat and stuff, and just it changed over the years.
Yeah, I think every 10 years your taste buds sort of change. I think mine just changed because I remember the way coffee tasted. I feel like an old man. I remember the way coffee tasted before, but now I don't know. It tastes different to me, but not like in a way where I'll be like, ugh, I don't want coffee anymore. But it just tastes different
You
for some
know,
reason.
I didn't like coffee until I turned 30, and for some reason, when I turned 30, I started liking coffee.
I'll tell you the truth. The only reason why I like coffee now, it's my job's fault.
Yeah. I started drinking coffee because at the time I was working for Haven Distribution and I was putting together the catalog and it took like 70 hours and over the course of a weekend and I needed something to stay awake.
Yeah.
That's when I started drinking coffee regularly and I was like, oh yeah, now I kind of like it. So.
Now it's good for me.
Yeah. But my Thanksgiving was great. Thanks for asking.
I was going to
I know you were.
after everybody finished laughing at me for the pie. So, what did you do for Thanksgiving,
Uh,
Grant?
Actually, for everybody should know by now if you're a regular listener, if you're a new listener, I recently, back in mid-July, moved from Kentucky, where I spent most of my life, to Texas, where the only people, yeah, I know, it's a shocker. But the only people I know here are Lisa Moore, good friend of the show and comic related, and one of my best friends, and her family. And so I don't have any family in the area. Don't really know other people. So this was going to be the first Thanksgiving I've ever had without my family. So I was kind of,
Nervous?
yeah, nervous and kind of missing my mom and my brother and stuff. So, but I ended up going to they brought me in, just let me be part of their Thanksgiving. So I went over to her parents' house and had dinner with her her siblings and her parents and stuff, and it was fantastic. We had a blast. Ate way too much food, and then went back for seconds and we ate way too much more. And we got so many leftovers. We went over there for lunch again today. We're going over there for dinner tonight.
Oh my god!
Yeah, there's so much food, dude. And we played a bunch of games, played a bunch of board games and stuff like that. We watched about half of X-Men Days of Future Past, and I was falling asleep, so we decided to stop watching it. So.
Yeah, before you fell asleep. That's like the time I brought Superman Returns over to my friend's house, and I'm like, you got to watch this movie. And then by the middle of the movie, everybody was asleep.
Well, no, I get that with Superman Returns. Future Past is actually a really good movie. I really love it. But I was so tired. I only had like 2 hours of sleep the night before because I underestimated how long it was going to take to cook, the food that I had to cook. And so I was up until like 8:30 Thanksgiving morning and grabbed a quick nap. So I was snoring during Days of Future Past while everybody else was laughing at me and pointing at me until I woke up. So, fun times. But no, it was cool. I actually I made some dishes I'd never made before because I wanted my mom's cooking. And there's certain dishes that she does every year that I wasn't going to get because they never make them, they don't eat them. So I made my mom's form of dressing, which we had like 3 different kinds of dressing at the Thanksgiving. But I made my mom's dressing. I made her cranberry relish, which has like pineapples and walnuts and stuff in it, and sweet potato souffle, which actually Lisa kind of made for me. But yeah, so it was really nice. I had the taste of home plus this, being welcome in and just had a lot of fun. So I was really thankful for that. It was a blast.
That's great. Yeah. I wish my family was into games more. Honestly, with us, it's just, cook, eat, and then usually Mike, myself, Ellie, and Cindy were here this year. Cindy's been here for 3 years now, but the four of us kind of just went off and did our own thing then. But I don't. When we have Christmas Eve, sometimes my family plays Bikino. You know that game, right?
I know of it. I've never played it.
It's bingo with playing cards, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, my family. Sometimes we'd. I don't know, sometimes we get karaoke machine and you sing Christmas songs. Usually we say that for Christmas, though. Sometimes we watch a movie. Sometimes we play video games. Some of them would play board games. We kind of splinter off into little groups because with so many of us, there's like 30 or 40 of us every year.
Yeah,
there's a lot of us. But no, this was fun. And I'll talk about the games that we played on Hall of Toys, I guess. I'll save it for that.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. I think we have a lot for Hall of Toys and Gaming Zone this time.
Yeah.
Shameless advertising.
We'll talk more about those at the end of the show as well. But we should dive into some news. How about that?
Yes, let's dive into news.
Comic book headlines.
And there's not a whole lot, but there are a couple of trailers that came out this week that we really wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jurassic World first.
Yeah, I think that one was very. I think both trailers are very broad. It was like more of a. This is sort of what you're going to see, but this is just a teaser.
Right, exactly. So you want to talk about Jurassic World?
Yeah, we talked about it on Frontline live last week, this past Tuesday, but
yeah,
I really
missed
didn't
that part of the show.
Yeah, but I really didn't take it in because they told me to watch it right before the live show, so I kind of rush watched it. Mm-hmm. And I decided to go back and really rewatch it and get a real legit opinion on it, not just okay, I watched it, so now I can put my 2 cents in.
Right.
And Chris Pratt's in the movie, which I think is awesome, especially coming off of Guardians of the Galaxy, which was another really awesome movie.
Right. Which comes out on Blu-ray and DVD on December 9th.
It does? I gotta get that. I definitely gotta get that. All right. I didn't know when it was coming out, but I don't know. It looks really good. It's not like everybody thinks it's a reboot. It doesn't look like a reboot. It basically looks like somebody took the old. I forgot what the old man's name was. It took his dream. Maybe it's his son. Maybe Chris Pratt plays his son. I don't know. But it looks like somebody took his dream and made it a reality. Finally, the dinosaurs are all tamed. People are canoeing down the streams. I mean, how did you like that shark scene where there's that humongous great white shark and then you get that gigantic, I don't even know what dinosaur that is, but it just comes jumping out of the water.
It was like I thought it was like a prehistoric alligator.
It is.
Thing. Yeah. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, it was one of those huge, I've seen the Discovery Channel thing on it before, or, Animal Planet, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. But
no,
it was awesome, yeah.
I thought it was great, and I like how. Okay, so obviously you can't say the animals went wild because they're all tamed now. So what could lead into the problem? Because obviously there's going to be a problem, and people are going to have to try to escape the island. So how could this beautiful island paradise amusement park away from the world? How could anything go wrong? Enter scientists.
Yes.
Every time, it's always the freaking scientists. They made a dinosaur hybrid. They started hybriding and mixed breeding dinosaurs.
Yeah. And I love Chris Pratt's line there. That can't be a good thing.
Exactly. Who's stupid enough? I mean, obviously there's the history of what happened on that island already.
Right.
Who's stupid enough to take the animals and breed them together, take their DNA and splice it together? You had to know that was what was going to happen. So apparently all hell breaks loose, and the last scene was the best one where he's on a motorcycle, he's going on the hunt. It looks like, and you got the raptors all around him like guard dogs. I thought that was spectacular because we always see the raptors as the antagonists.
Right.
Now they're with the humans. That was awesome. That scene alone was great. And notice. They never showed a Tyrannosaurus. They never showed a Gigantosaurus. You know what a Gigantosaurus is, right, Brant?
No.
It's basically, okay, you take a Tyrannosaurus and you multiply the size by about 5.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's huge.
Interesting. Yeah, honestly, I think I don't know how they're going to set it up, but being a hybrid, it almost feels like it's going to be like, oh, well, we thought it was this, and now it's actually this kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe the wrong kind of DNA got in there and created something that's vicious. I don't know, but it's a fantastic concept, and like you, I don't think it was a reboot at all. I think it was a continuation. Like this is years down the road, is kind of what I'm thinking. So, but no, I agree with you, man. It looks fantastic. I loved the first film when it came out. It's a huge thing. I actually liked all of them, but this one, Chris Pratt, and everything you mentioned, it's fantastic. I can't wait for it.
Mm-hmm. I loved all three myself, by the way.
Yeah.
A few people didn't like. I think it was either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I thought they were good for what they were worth. They were good. Jurassic Park, obviously, number 1 was the best.
Sure. Yeah. Because it was like after one, it's like okay, it's kind of recycled a little bit for the next one, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I still enjoyed it for a while.
Well, the third one I think was unique because the third one, instead of focusing on the main island, they went to Site B, which was the other island. So it was kind of more interesting because it's like, okay, you saw the regular island, you re-saw the regular island in number 2. They made a mention actually in number 2 of Site B, a very, very cheeky reference, a little tiny bit of it, like kind of saying, hey, there is a Site B, but you're not going to see it here, you might see it later. Right. And then number 3 came out and it's like, you want to go to Site B? The second island, and it's like, ooh, what's in Site B?
That was pretty exciting, and now we're getting, like you said, it's like a SeaWorld of dinosaurs, the way it's set up here, and it's just awesome. I cannot wait for this. Dude, what's the release date? I didn't even notice on the. Let's see.
Shoot, I didn't even recognize. I know it's 2015.
Yeah. Let's see. As I look it up, June 12th.
There you go.
It says on June 12th the park is open. It's nice.
I love it. I can't wait. This is going to be real. I have a very good feeling about this movie. I mean, they've waited between 3 and this. They've waited a very long. I would dare say about 15 years they waited.
Yeah, this is okay. I found the synopsis. This takes place 22 years after the events of the first movie. Okay,
so 22 years. So the first movie happened. The second movie was a couple of years later. Mm-hmm. So 22, 21, figure maybe 19. So that was 19 years before the park opened. And then the third one, they never definitively said when it happened, but it did happen after the second. So figure the last time we were on that island was approximately, ironically, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been 15 years since anybody... So that means somebody went to the island, if not the old man, tamed all the dinosaurs, fixed the amusement park, redid the amusement park, and I'm against that in a way because I like the fact that the dinosaurs were free. You know, they had their island, just people had to leave them alone. I'm kind of not happy that somebody actually went back to the island and quote-unquote tamed them all.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I can't wait to see it explored. Obviously, we're going to get another trailer before it comes out. So
you think any of the old actors will make appearances, even if it's just like literally a in and out reference?
It would be nice. Looking over the cast, it doesn't look like it. But it would be nice if somebody made a cameo. Jeff Goldblum or somebody.
I was just going to say, Jeff Goldblum honestly made the second movie for me.
Yeah.
I loved his character. In the first movie, he was jerky, but I liked his character. The second movie was out of this world. I loved his character. But the third one with the main character from the first, was good, but it's like, I want Jeff Goldblum in it too.
Right. So, I don't know. They may just go completely different since it's technically 22 years later. I guess they would have to be pretty aged. So.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah.
But that's okay. Well. Yeah, I like Chris Pratt, so.
Love Chris Pratt, so I think it would be perfect.
Yeah. Bryce Dallas Howard is in it too, though.
Who's that?
Ron Howard's daughter. She was, okay. She was Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. That horrible movie that we don't discuss, just like Superman 4.
Speaking of Jeff Goldblum, before we get into the other trailer, it was confirmed today. I think it was today they actually confirmed it.
Oh, God.
Fox confirmed that Independence Day is getting a sequel, and it will likely be without Will Smith.
And Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum might come back. It's up in the air right now.
Isn't he on one of the Law and Order series on TV?
He might be.
He was. I don't know if he still is.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember which one it was so I could ask you to look it up. I think it was just a regular Law and Order.
I'll just look up his name and see if I can...
I remember saying, oh my God, he's on a TV, Law and Order, I gotta watch it. I watched the first episode and then I kind of like got bored and stopped watching after that.
He was on Criminal Intent. He's not on...
That's it.
He is... Let's see. He was on a show called Portlandia most recently.
I don't know. That I don't.
And he's in the new movie, the new Johnny Depp movie next year, Mordecai.
Johnny Depp's also in another movie. I saw it at the Macy's Day Parade, The Forest. It's basically just like any Johnny Depp movie. It's like a person who smoked a little too much, decided to remake a lot of fairy tales, and there it is. Just like which one was the one where he was a barber and it was a sing-along movie?
Can't think of the name of the movie now. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Wonderland. So The Forest is basically taking all the rest of the Disney movies or the Disney fairy tales or regular fairy tales, and basically you're going to feel like you smoked a bunch of stuff before the end of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's his whole career these days, right?
Yeah, well, Pirates of the Caribbean, I wouldn't agree with that, but...
Well, he's still crazy, but it fits there. That's right. That's the difference. It fits there.
Exactly.
Man, why can't I find the name of this movie? That's bugging me now. I've seen it. Sweeney Todd. That's it.
There you go.
The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, based on the Barber of Seville, I think.
I saw 10 minutes of that movie and I shut it off because it's like, no.
Dude, it was creepy.
It was a creepy part, and I'm like, nope, I'm not watching that.
I watched the whole thing, and I was like,
I made a mistake. I watched a couple of minutes of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the one where Willy Wonka's dad apparently and him didn't see eye to eye because he liked chocolate.
Yeah. And
I'm like, okay, this is just stupid.
I hated it. I hated it because I liked the original so much.
I love the original. Yeah. The original is, in my eyes, the only Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I agree. So, that's just my preference. Oh, man. But anyway, speaking of movies and stuff, we did talk about another trailer. Oh,
this one is all you first, because you showed it to me, so I want to. Your reaction deserves to go first with this, because I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, but let me say one more thing about the Independence Day sequel. They are looking at Michael B. Jordan to star. Michael B. Jordan, for anybody that doesn't know, is the guy playing Johnny Storm in the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot.
I quit!
That's enough said. Alright, so the other trailer that released today, as you're hearing this episode, is the brand new teaser trailer for Star Wars 7 The Force Awakens. And I didn't even know this was coming out until like this morning.
I didn't even know it was out, period, so...
Yeah, well, Mike Spiderslayer told us on GroupMe. Mike Spiderslayer from Comic Frontline. And I was like, what? So I started Googling it, and I was like, I found that, everybody had been saying, oh, Friday it's going to be released. And I was like, oh, awesome. So, and it was like pretty early this morning it came out, and I actually did a reaction video on Frontline. But, man, this trailer, it's got me so pumped for Star Wars again. It comes out December 18th, 2015, for everybody who doesn't know. But this trailer, it just showed us, it was like a minute and a half long. It just showed us various really quick scenes from all throughout the movie. You got to see some guy in a stormtrooper outfit in the middle of the desert, kind of looking like he's running from somebody or something, we don't know. You see a girl in like this speeder bike kind of thing, only it's like massive. And she's like concerned and flying off. We see a R2 droid rolling around like a ball, which was pretty cool. But the coolest part for me, aside from seeing the Millennium Falcon fly through the air again and knowing that the original cast is in the movie, at least part of it, the really cool thing for me was the supposed Sith Lord with the what looked to me like a Crusade era broadsword in lightsaber form. It was just awesome. Where the crossguard on the hilt was lightsaber light. So I mean, it was pretty awesome, man. I'm just so pumped for this. I was like in the video, I'm gonna go opening weekend IMAX. I gotta see this thing. So, what did you think about it?
Well, you heard when I finished watching it. I mean, I watched it right before we started recording. I came back and I was like,
Yeah.
So, for me though, I'm a longtime Rogue Squadron fan, the game Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
So when I saw those X-Wings, the remastered X-Wings flying over the ocean of whatever planet it was, with the rogues inside of it, with the symbols and everything, I was, wow. I'm like, damn, those X-Wings look amazing. And then you got that Stormtrooper scene where they're all in that dropship and we don't know where they're going. The Sith, the new Sith that we're going to see, that looked interesting with the unique lightsaber. And then, like you said, seeing the ending with the Millennium Falcon just flying up into space. Oh my God, that was the best. And you know what? We're so gushing about it, but at the same time, did we really see a lot? No. We saw a guy in a desert. We saw stormtroopers. We saw a lightsaber. We saw an X-wing, and we saw a Millennium Falcon. And we heard some dark guy talking about the dark side of the Force is coming back. Okay, so apparently this is going to be the new Sith Overlord kind of person.
Yeah.
Thing.
Which, a lot of people are already jumping up and saying it's going to be Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay. He played he's Sherlock in the UK show.
Oh,
he was Khan in the second Star Trek movie. He's the voice of Smaug in the Hobbit movies.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. So,
I had a friend who read the books, and the books followed the movies, and then I think there was 3 more books after.
Oh, there were a lot of books.
Yeah, and apparently after this movie, Luke is supposed to turn to the dark side for a bit, and his sister becomes a Jedi, and she's for the light side, and the sister brings the brother back. Like, instead of what happened to Darth Vader where he turned dark and he died, Luke is supposed to turn semi to the dark side, and then Leia's supposed to bring him back.
Yeah, but that's only if they go by the books, because they did say the books were not going to be canon anymore. That doesn't mean they can't use some of the stuff from the books, which they probably will.
I think they might not be able to, because remember now, these actors are getting old, and if it's a 3-movie set, and they're definitely not going for a Lord of the Rings trilogy where it's one every year. So
right.
By the 3rd movie, you can imagine this is going to be 20 years later. They're going to be old, old.
Right. I think they are going to try to do one every other year though, because I remember when they first announced they were doing new Star Wars movies. They were talking about doing one every other year and then in between doing solo movies.
Then it might work. I mean, we'll have to see. But I mean, how many movies can you honestly do with Star Wars? I mean, you could do a lot, but I mean, how many successful movies can you do with Star Wars before it's like, okay, it's time to put a cap on it? This reminds me a little bit of Assassin's Creed, the game.
I think if, I don't know. I mean, the originals came out in the 70s and early 80s. The prequels came out in the early 2000s, right? That's when they started?
Yeah.
So now we're into 2015 when this one's coming out. If they continue that trend where it's like every 15, 20 years they do a trilogy, that could work, actually.
Absolutely. I think that would be perfect, because then it gives you enough time to work up some ideas.
Yeah, now if they go past 3 movies and they just keep going on and on every 2 years, I could see it losing some of the, some of the epic...
Unique ability?
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be special. That's the point I think we're both trying to make. It needs to be special, which means it needs to happen less.
Right. So. And the TV shows, I think, are a good fix.
Yeah.
Even though they're cartoons, I think it's a good fix for the in-between. Because, I mean, kids and adults alike can enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, but, I mean, let me ask you this about the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I felt like this trailer felt like the original movies. It felt, I mean, obviously it's in the future, It's past all those events, so you're going to see some updated things,
Right.
like the R2 droid and so on and so forth. But the feel and the scope of it felt like the original movies as opposed to the prequels, to me.
Yes, absolutely. One thing I didn't like was the R2 unit, by the way. I don't know why. I just didn't like the whole ball thingy. I'd rather have the regular R2 unit, but I can understand for the 3D, what's it called? The digital, why can't I remember what the name of it is?
The CGI.
CGI, thank you. For CGI purposes, of course, you can go above and beyond what we used to get in the original 3 movies, but, I definitely get the feeling of the old 3 movies as opposed to the prequel, newer 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was done on purpose in the prequel movies because obviously it had to take place before, so they had to make things look like the cybernetics and stuff look earlier than what you got in, like, for example, when Anakin Skywalker lost his hand, he got a Terminator hand, as opposed to when Luke lost his hand, he got a real hand. He got, like, it looked like a hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It just, there was something off about the vibe of the prequels, and I personally really like 2 of the prequels. Phantom Menace I'm kind of iffy about, but, Attack of the Clones I really liked, and Revenge of the Sith I loved. So,
yes.
I really liked those, but there was still something that wasn't quite Star Wars to me with those. I mean, it was obviously Star Wars, but it wasn't that classic feel to me.
Yeah, exactly, because it was the mom and dad growing up as opposed to Luke, Leia, again, when we were introduced to Star Wars, the Jedis were extinct. So that was another thing. It's like, ooh, it's a race that was erased years ago because of something. And then you go back in time to the trilogy, and not only are the Jedis thriving, but they have a school, and they're these bodyguards, and, like, the whole galaxy looks to these people as their protectors, and there was no empire yet, so it's so different than what we got in the first 3 movies.
Plus,
that's why.
Yeah, plus the original movies, almost all the stars were, like, unknowns. Especially Luke Skywalker. He was a complete unknown. You go into the prequels, all these actors. And it kind of takes you out a little bit, I think. Seeing Samuel L. Jackson as a Jedi, it's cool. And it was cool seeing all these Jedi and stuff, and seeing Yoda do his thing. And, it was cool seeing that history. But it still took me out just a little bit. But this one so far feels just so epic, like those original ones, and I can't wait for it. I like J.J. Abrams as a director. Mm-hmm. I love the 2 Star Trek movies. I've seen other movies and TV shows he's done. I really like his style. I think he has a passion for these mediums that he attaches himself to. I think he has a passion for this, and I think it's going to show.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for this movie. I'm interested in the solo movies. I'm hoping they make a Rogue Squadron movie. I really think the game showed so much potential for a really good Rogue Squadron movie with Luke leading the Rogue Squadron. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it doesn't even have to be them as much as it is them in their ships, so it wouldn't involve a lot of in-person acting. A lot of voice acting, yes, but not so much like running around and jumping around and floating and throwing stuff, whatever. I think it would really a Rogue Squadron would definitely make for a good movie.
It could be pretty cool. Just don't give us another Ewok movie. We'll be fine.
Oh, please. Oh, please. That was, I think, shameless promotion of the actual movies. Like, here.
Yeah, it definitely was. And as a kid watching it, it was fine. But, going back and trying to rewatch that thing. Because it was, it's cute and cuddly or whatever, but,
Too much is too much.
Exactly. Yeah. Return to Endor. That'd be... Oh, shit. Any other news that caught your attention, or did you want to talk more about that?
I just wanted to say one thing I do like also with Star Wars is if you watch the games, a lot of the games do expand the movies also, like Force Unleashed talked about Darth Vader's apprentice that nobody knew about. Rogue Squadron expanded the story in between the episodes, I think Rogue Squadron, the original, took place after the events of Episode 6. And since Darth Vader was dead, it was, it was one of the commanders that was the big antagonist. And then as you continue with Rogue Squadron, they showed more and more. So obviously now they're going to be that's going to be not part of the storyline because they're continuing forward. Mm-hmm. But for its time, it's like, okay, well, this is what happened next. Luke stayed with the Rogue Squadron, and he became the leader of Rogue Squadron, and they still fought the Empire. The Empire was still around, but they weren't as strong. They were more of the bullies or they were trying to retake control, and you had to stop them. And I don't know. Star Wars has so many expansions and stuff. I love Star Wars. That's definitely. I mean, people ask me all the time, Star Trek, Star Wars. I love Next Generation Star Trek, but I love Star Wars fully. Everything that Star Wars ever has done, I liked, except I never watched the Ewok movie, and I probably never will.
Yeah, to me, and all respect to Star Trek fans out there, and there are Star Treks that I do like you said. I like some of Next Generation. I love the new movies, but to me personally, between those two, there's no comparison. It's Star Wars. So. Yeah. It's just what I personally grew up with. So. Mm-hmm. All right, so I don't know if you saw this, but have you heard about Ultron Forever?
No.
You have not heard of it? Okay. There's a new... You're not going to like this. It's aimed to release towards when Avengers 2 comes out, obviously. Ultron Forever is a 3-part story taking place in Avengers Ultron Forever #1, New Avengers Ultron Forever #2, and Uncanny Avengers Ultron Forever #3. It's written by Al Ewing, who's writing Captain America and the Mighty Avengers. And Alan Davis is doing the art. He's the Savage Hulk artist right now. And it's basically Ultron. It's time traveling Avengers again. Yeah, and they're oversized issues, I should say. So it's kind of like one of those things like they did with the crossover between Nova, Uncanny, and whatever the other one was.
So basically, it's a $20 3-part series.
Pretty much, yeah. It's going to consist of Black Widow, Vision, female Thor, and James Rhodes, who's going to be in the Iron Man armor, as well as classic versions of Hulk and Thor. And it's going to have Daniel Cage grown up. So it's it's all over the place, man.
Daniel Cage, that's Luke Cage's son?
Daughter, yeah.
Daughter?
Danielle,
sorry, daughter. Yeah. You said Dan, and I'm like, okay, guy. Wait, sorry. Didn't he have a daughter?
So yeah, it's and it involves Doctor Doom's time platform. It's bringing them together 50 years in the future in a timeline where Ultron wants. So they're going back to Age of Ultron or something. I don't know.
Okay, so this is definitely a series I'm going to omit from my memory and never even think about again. First of all, I'm tired of Marvel and their stupid. Okay, we're doubling up an issue, so automatically $5.99.
Right.
Screw that. I'm done.
I agree with you. Just for anybody that is interested in this, it's April and May of 2015 is when this comes out.
Oh, forget that for sure then. I'm going to be knee-deep in DC Convergence where I actually get my universe back for like 2 months.
Yeah, which is a nice segue because DC did announce their third wave of Convergence titles earlier this week. And I think we talked about, you weren't here for that, but I'm pretty sure we talked about the past 2 announcements of the first 20 titles. And I know you guys talked about this on the Frontline live show, but we'll just kind of briefly go over these. I'll read the titles, and then you can tell me which ones appeal to you, and I'll do the same.
One thing that I like that Jay said, and I want to make note of it, is I noticed that as we all did, as the weeks move on, we move further back in time. Like week 1 is pre-New 52, right as it's pre-New 52. Week 2 goes back to the 90s. These books have an 80s feel, and maybe the 4th week, the final week, will have like the very beginning of DC Comics feel, which I think I enjoy because it's like they're reaching out all the way back to their origin, basically their very beginning of their company, which I like.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I hadn't even noticed. I hadn't even picked up on that, but you're right. You're totally right with that.
You weren't with us when we were talking about that?
No, I missed the news part of the show.
Oh yeah, every week it's like they go back 10 years. First week is the early 2000s. Second week is the 90s. This week you're gonna get, if you look at the titles now, you're probably gonna see the 80s.
Yeah.
And we don't know the fourth week. The fourth week might be like the 40s and 30s when it originated.
Could be, or it could go back into like the golden age with it. Well, that was the golden age, so it could go back to like pre-crisis stuff. Yeah.
Well, this week is pre-crisis.
Oh, this week is pre-crisis. Okay.
Yeah, because look at Supergirl. You'll notice what Supergirl looks like.
Oh, I haven't looked at the images yet.
Oh, look at Supergirl.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Pre-crisis. So
yeah, okay.
We're talking. It's going to go back even further, probably the fourth week to like the 1940s. Like I said, when they all first appearances.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking at this fresh as we're talking about it because I wanted to get my initial reactions, so I hadn't looked deep into it. But yeah, okay, cool. So let me read off the titles.
Yeah.
We got Batman and the Outsiders. We've got Adventures of Superman, which I know you're going to be excited about that one. We got The Flash. We got Wonder Woman, Green Lantern Corps, Justice League of America, Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, Swamp Thing, New Teen Titans, and Hawkman. All right, so which ones are you don't even have to ask this. Adventures of Superman. Why are you looking forward to that one?
I'm looking forward to all of them.
Okay.
I love this is the 80s. I'm skeptical of 3.
Okay.
So this is easier for me to talk about. First of all, I don't read I've never read a Hawkman book.
Okay.
So this book is going to be completely new to me. 100%. So the whole Hawkman, Hawkgirl thing, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that book. Swamp Thing, I have briefly read a few books from the 80s, like whenever I got it in like that. You know when you get those packs at the comic store, like you pay for like $3 and you get like 5 comics in a bag?
Right.
I've read a few of the Swamp Thing, so it's not bad. I enjoyed the Swamp Thing in the 80s, but still, I'm skeptical because I'm used to the way it's being written now, and I dropped it because I didn't like the way it was written. So maybe it'll bring me back into Swamp Thing. And then the other one was, oh shoot, and you just said it too, and it left me. Oh, Green Lantern Corps. Okay. I've read Jeff Johns' run of Green Lantern. I've never read anything pre-90s. And in week 2, one of the Green Lantern book of week 2 has Hal Jordan as Parallax. That is where I started reading comics. That's where my origin of Green Lantern started, where my knowledge of Green Lantern started. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about this week's Green Lantern, if I'm going to like it, if I'm not going to like it, because Green Lantern was fundamentally different back in the 80s. And even the 90s. Well, in the 90s I got used to it because of Kyle, but the 80s and beyond and further back, I don't know how I'm going to feel about the Green Lantern book.
Yeah, no, I can totally agree with you there. When I really latched on to Green Lantern was during the Kyle years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was like my Green Lantern. Kyle Rayner was always my Green Lantern. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally get you there. Batman and the Outsiders is one that I've never been able to get into.
I've never read it, so that's why I'm and I've been reading so much Batman that I'm open to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Outsiders team in general.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that one.
Did you notice that with this Convergence, you know how in the New 52 we have like 1,000 Batman books? Did you notice that in Convergence there's only like a handful of Batman books this time?
That's true. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that, but yeah, that's pretty cool. nice breather. Let's see. Wonder Woman, I'm curious about because Larry Hama's writing it, and he's like the G.I. Joe writer. Yep. And it's like, I haven't read a whole lot of his stuff outside of G.I. Joe, so I'm always curious when I see his name attached to something. I want to try it out. But I'm not a huge Wonder Woman fan, especially from the 80s stuff, so I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. But we'll see. New Teen Titans I'm really excited about because it's Marv Wolfman writing it.
Yes. I read the game. The game was so good, that book.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy, him and George Perez, relaunched Teen Titans back in the 80s and stuff, and it was their run that like kind of made the map for Teen Titans. So it was their team, that iconic team with Nightwing and everybody. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
I'm really liking Convergence. I've said this in a billion different places. One thing I don't want to see though when Convergence is all said and done, obviously we can't go back to the pre-New 52. That world is done.
Well, I mean, it still exists.
It exists, but you can't go back to it now because we've spent 4 years already in the New 52. There's no way to go back to that exact moment. I mean, there is. I mean, you can. You could just say, hey, well, we gave you 4 years of like an Ultimate Comics DCU, but a lot of people would be upset. So I don't think they'll do that. They don't want to lose people. But you can't stay in the New 52 now because you're opening wounds with Convergence. So you're going to piss off all the old readers that finally got used to the New 52. What I'm hoping for by the end of the whole Convergence, event, is a middleman. I'm hoping that when we go back, or if we go back, we might not go back to this DCU. We might go back to a fresh, brand new DC universe, but the numbering will stand, or who knows. I'm just hoping that when this is done, we get a universe that satisfies both New 52 fans and pre-New 52 fans. We get something that's a mixture of the things we all love from all the characters. Like Barbara walking from the New 52, I love that. Superman, and they've already started writing Superman the way he was pre-New 52. Something like that with a more, like, back to the classic feel for his stories, his character, everything. Batman, we need less Batman. We really need less Batman. There's too much.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe there's some changes you could think of, but Green Lantern definitely needs a new writing staff completely. I'm after Godhand, I'm dropping everything Green Lantern. This series ruined Green Lantern for me.
Yeah, I'm a few issues behind on Godhead, but yeah, I agree. It's not the same. It does need a shot in the arm.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that.
We need a lighter DC universe. Like, remember when it was like that beacon of light? We need that back.
Yeah, it has gotten quite dark with the New 52. But no, I agree with you. I think that's kind of the sentiment across the board too. That it's kind of been everybody's thinking that, okay, if they ever do this, they're going to have to kind of find a happy medium and kind of merge like they did post Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's going to have to be that kind of thing, or it's going to have to stay in the New 52. It's got to be one of the two of those things. It can't go back. You're right.
Right.
So.
But you can merge it. I mean, the definition of convergence is to converge, is to merge. So maybe at the end of it, they're going to merge it.
Right. So we shall see. We only have a few months to wait and see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
So.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
2 months. It's 2 months of convergence, and then we go back to. They're not even giving us they're not even saying you're going to come back to the New 52.
Right.
You're going to go back to the pre-New 52. They're just saying after convergence, things will never be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm nervous.
One thing we know for sure, the Batman books will stay the same regardless.
Of course, and so will the Green Lantern ones.
Pretty much, yeah. So, outside of that, anything's open. So, We'll see. Any other news that hit your attention this week?
Not really, no.
Okay. Yeah, nothing for me either. So, to wrap up this show, we'll go into topic time.
Topic
time. It's topic time.
All right, so our topic this week, in honor of Thanksgiving, is the biggest turkeys in comics. And this website, whatculture.com, has this list of 15 lamest superheroes of all time. And we're going to go over the list, and we'll see if we agree with the list or if there are other lamer characters we might know of, and we'll talk about that. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. So, number 15 is a character named Hindsight Lad. Are you familiar with this character at all?
Not even in the slightest.
I actually am, because he was in New Warriors. He was basically he was their sidekick. He was like this. He was their tech guy. And he wanted to be a superhero. He wanted to be part of the team, actually. So he put together this makeshift outfit. He had no powers, no abilities, nothing except for he was I don't know what did it say? He's got a quote: "When everyone is super, no one is."
Mm-hmm.
So that makes no sense. I don't know. He was just this wannabe.
He's a weird character. I'm just reading it. He's like weird.
Yeah, he was just there. He was kind of like the Super Friends and everything, right?
Yes.
You know when they replaced the Wonder Twins with Wendy and Marvin?
Yeah.
He's Marvin. Basically.
Okay.
More or less, he's Marvin.
I didn't like them. I like the Wonder Twins better.
Right. And Wendy and Marvin had no powers. They were just there. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's him. He's Hindsight Lad.
They were like, we're sitting here in the computer. Superman, look out, there's a person there. Like, oh, please, for God's sake, get rid of these people. Where are the Wonder Twins?
Yep. So that's pretty lame. I gotta agree. I gotta say Hindsight Lad is definitely lame.
Yeah.
Alright, so number 14. Now, I've never heard of this character.
I've never heard of it, and it makes me mad reading what he is, so.
Yeah. Dog Welder. He was part of a Section 8 alongside other mighty heroes such as Six Pack, an alcoholic, and Defenestrator, who carried around the window he threw criminals through. Okay?
Yeah, I really did. I have nothing to say about this character. It's just a disgusting character, to be honest.
Well, you want to tell what his...
He welds dead dogs to people's faces. Now, anybody who knows me knows I love animals, whether they be, it's a legit thing or not, and I really don't like even the promotion of something as disgusting as that, to be honest, so.
The weird thing is, this was a DC book. I would expect this to be like an indie book.
No, it doesn't surprise me. DC Comics did do a couple of weird things back in its time, so... This would have been a Vertigo book now, I would say, definitely.
Yeah, maybe. So, let's see what the next one is. Madame Fatal. Or Fatal. Madame Fatal. From Crack Comics.
I can make a joke, but I'm not going
No,
to.
go ahead and do it.
Crack, they must have been on it when they made this. Oh man, that's funny. This is funny. I'm actually reading it now. The famous actor uses his talent to disguise himself as an old lady to beat people up.
So he's Mrs. Doubtfire, basically.
Yeah, except he's like detective version of Mrs. Doubtfire.
So he's J. Edgar Hoover.
There you go.
Okay. That's okay. That's lame.
Oh, wait do you see the next one?
Oh yeah.
This isn't even lame. This is stupid.
What is this from? Okay, this is number 12. Arm fall off boy, and it's just like it says. His arm falls off, and he beats people with it or something. I don't know. What is this from?
I don't know. I'm looking.
I don't
Legion of Superheroes.
Is it really?
Oh my god.
That's pretty bad.
I am so glad that I did not catch that.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude.
Oh, it's okay. The next one is from Marvel, and it's better.
Doorman. He's the doorman.
And I love the word, the picture they use. Feeling a little violated over there.
Basically he's a teleporter, right?
Yeah.
So he just opens a doorway. That's not as lame as some of the other ones, I gotta say. There's lamer Marvel characters I could probably think of, like the Ringer, than that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Doorman, yeah, I just it's kind of lame, but he teleports, so that's still kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like Nightcrawler.
Yeah. All right, but this next one.
Everything's DC. The Red Bee.
The Red Bee. He had an actual bee as a sidekick. Like a little bee buzzed around him as a sidekick. Oh shoot.
Well, I do find joy in the fact that he was called Michael. The bee's name was Michael.
The bee. He trained a bumblebee. That's what it is, a bumblebee.
Which is stupid because the second the bumblebee stings somebody, he's dead.
Right. I love the way this article says. It says there's a reason that Batman didn't fight with real bats or Spider-Man with real spiders. Because it's just not cool. Oh, man. DC, I'm telling you. Alright, so number 9. Shut up and fight, Matchstick. It's Rainbow Girl.
And again, it's from DC Comics.
She is let's see. They call her incredibly sexist.
Oh, wow, wait a minute. This is a copy of what Green Lantern's doing right now. Her superpower is to harness the power of the emotional spectrum, resulting in wild mood swings. And ironically, she's red and she's angry.
So basically, the entire emotional spectrum. So she's basically the White Lantern, only she's affected by everything.
Exactly. Wow.
Who knew?
Oh, it's okay because the next one, which again is of course DC Comics, he took place around the same time as Color Girl, a Rainbow Girl. Oh wow, so yeah, he mixed it. Color Kid. He debuted with Rainbow Girl. Part of the Legion of Substitute Superheroes. A group of rejects, you bet they are. He's able to zap a beam of multicolored light from another they had to add from another dimension. Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, he's just tapping into the source wall. That's all it is.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't think this next character's lame.
This is another Legion of Superheroes character, right? Yeah. Matter-Eater Lad, rather. Man-Eater.
Man-Eater, yeah. Oh, boy, man. You really... Whoa! Let's, is this the Legion of Superheroes or the Legion of XXX Superheroes?
Oh, man. I meant to say Matter-Eater Lad. Yeah, so he can eat solid matter, liquid, and gas as well, I guess.
Yeah, but I never found him as a lame character. I thought he was, especially when they were in a tight situation like that where, you know, they couldn't get out. I mean, he was able to eat anything. It's, I don't know, it's kind of lame. It's lame, but at least he's not, listen. It's useful. Can't put this guy, you can't put this guy in the same stuff as the Red Bee and the color changing weird. Oh, come on. No. All right, the next one, we got to say this. I know, wow, we must have clicked it at the same time when I went, oh, you went, now, come on. Yeah, number 6, Squirrel Girl. Now, come on, I understand she's kind of a joke character, but she's meant to be that way. Yeah, she's not lame, so she could talk to squirrels. She has beaten she beat Thanos. I mean, she beat Galactus. That's what I meant. Yes, not Thanos. Yeah, she's beaten, like, everybody. It's just, you can't call her lame. No, the whole Great Lakes Avengers was supposed to be a joke team. You can't classify a team or characters that were supposed to be purposely lame in a way as just generally lame characters. That just doesn't work. No. This writer doesn't know what they're talking about. Well, the next one it goes back to agreeing again. Oh Lord. I can't. You're going to talk about this one completely. I have no opinion. I just want to go on to the next one, honestly. I'm clicking the next one. You talk about this one. Number 5 is Leather Boy, who possessed no skills or abilities. He just looks like a reject from the Village People. I don't even want to think about what's in his mouth. So that's a ball gag. Use that. No, that's why I didn't want to go there. But yeah, that's very lame. I'm already off the picture. I picture. Really, Cypher? I don't know who Cypher is. That's Doug Ramsey. He's one of the New Mutants. I don't know what he does or what his powers are. So Cypher, he's the one that Warlock. Yeah. He's tied to Warlock. Oh. That's why. So why is he on this list? I don't know. He communicates with Warlock. He's like one of the original New Mutants, like before X-Force. Yeah. Like with what's her name? With Wolfsbane and all those. Yeah, why is he on this list? He's number 4 too.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, he's not, he's probably the least of those characters, but I don't know, he's been pivotal in a lot of storylines, so I don't know.
Absolutely. Oh, I don't agree with number 3 at all. Now, this is ridiculous.
Oh, come on.
You can't say Arthur
From the
Tick. He was the smart one. If anything, Tick was the idiot.
Yeah.
How is he lame? He was the brains of everything. He did everything.
I don't know. That's messed up, dude.
Because he chose to be a moth? Aww.
Yeah. Well, that's lame, but it's the Tick. It's like humor. Whatever. Okay. All right. Number 2.
I agree.
Okay.
No, I don't agree. I'm just joking.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing about number 2. Before I even say who it is, here's the thing about number 2. I have always thought this was a lame character. I will say that. But he's an original Avenger.
Well, the Atom was also an original Justice Leaguer after they got into the Silver Age.
But the Atom is different because the Atom just shrinks. This is Ant-Man, obviously. The Atom shrinks, and he's a scientist. Yes, Hank Pym is smart, but the whole basis of his thing is the ants. If you take out the ants from the equation of Ant-Man and just change his name or whatever, then he becomes cooler, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
The ants, talking to ants kind of thing is the lame part of it. But
absolute. Oh.
And the fact that he's a wife beater, that makes him super lame, but in a different way. But anyway.
Oh, wait till you see number 1.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Now I know this list is bogusly, disgustingly stupid.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Their number 1 lamest character, superhero of all time, is Robin.
Really? I have a lot of people that would not only disagree with that, but they would want to punch you in the face. Like, oh wow, I went down to the comments just to see. And the first comment says, Robin? Really? When have you stopped reading comic books? 1960s, 70s?
Robin.
And then somebody else disagreed with Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
Dude,
let me school this writer. I don't know who wrote this article because it doesn't say their name. It's just whatculture.com. Robin, the original Robin, Dick Grayson, he grew up to be Nightwing. He led teams. He is intelligent. He's an acrobat. He's cool. He gets the ladies. There's nothing lame about him. Jason Todd, yeah, he was a jerk, but he grew up to be pretty bad too. And, Tim Drake is the most awesome Robin, in my opinion. He's genius level. He's Batman level. He's, martial artist. Even you go beyond that with all the other, the female Robins and stuff, there's nothing lame about Robin, I'm sorry, except for the green tights.
If you read the comments, everybody is, digging into him for mentioning Ant-Man and Robin, and one person for Squirrel Girl. Nobody said anything about Matter Eater. But anyway, this guy who wrote this article is from the UK, and guess what? He has no bio. It says right here, blank, because I'm not going to say this person's name, hasn't written a bio just yet, but if they had, it would appear here.
Oh, I couldn't even find his name. But yeah, gotcha.
I love his last name.
You'll have to tell me afterwards, but oh, I'm telling you.
I'm looking to see what else he wrote. He wrote also The Simpsons 10 Times Homer Really Should Have Died. The 15 Lamest, which we just did. The Simpsons 12 Celebrity Voiceovers You May Have Missed. 7.5 Most Shocking Movie Deaths of 2013. 10 Movies That Push the Boundaries of Visual Effects. And 10 Embarrassingly Awful TV Roles Taken by Hollywood Stars.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just now found his name. Okay. Yeah. There's so many times we reference these kind of lists on this show and we talk about them and discuss them and everything. And it's just so, these lists are basically clickbait. They're so off. I'll give it to this guy. He did throw in a lot of lame characters in this one, so he wasn't totally off base, but there's just a few of those that he was just way off.
Well, it's like you said, Brent. It's like literally these are one of those things where you get the click, and you go on a website, they show this, they show you the title, you're like, ooh, 15 lamest whatever. You click it, and the site that has that advertisement makes money.
Yeah.
These are strictly money grab, top or bottom or whatever. Articles.
Yeah.
I don't think they're meant to be taken seriously because they are so. This one especially. I'm sorry, Robin. Dude, you haven't read a comic book since 1965.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's just awful. So let me ask you this. What characters that weren't named on the list would you put on that list?
On the lamest?
Yeah.
Alpha. Alpha would be my number one.
Alpha.
Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Oh, man. I don't know if I could think of lamer characters.
There are really, every character's special and unique in their own way, and the characters he showed up until the last couple are characters we don't even see anymore because either they were killed off or they just faded into the background. They're background characters. They're not supposed to be spectacular or amazing. They're supposed to be what they are, background characters. And again, Arthur and Robin and Ant-Man, I don't understand how they could even end up on a list with B-Man and Leatherboy.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many like characters from like say Savage Dragon, or like go back
Chew.
to.
You get some characters from Chew that were weird.
Yeah, you go back to 90s Marvel with like Super Pro, NFL Super Pro, stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of lame stuff to choose from. But yeah, I don't know if I could think of any lamer than Arm Fall Off Boy. That's pretty lame.
No, I think you can't get any lower than that.
Except for maybe what was his name on the rebooted X Factor or X Force that I hated. Was it Zeitgeist that puked? That was his power?
I think so, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those characters were pretty lame.
Oh, and people are already posting about the first trailer of Star Wars. I'm looking at a still shot of the X-Wings. I love X. Anybody who knows me knows I love X-Wings. Those are my favorite vehicle in the Star Wars franchise. To this day, I'm still trying to find an X-Wing that wings open, not like the one in Toys R Us where you buy it, you put the wings in and they don't open. I'm looking for a legit X-Wing vehicle to display. I don't even care if if it's a 6-inch figure one, if it's a 3-inch figure one, something that's bigger than my finger. Not like the mini models. I'm talking about like a legit size X-Wing. And maybe if God is on our side, everybody knows the toy market jumps on movies. When this movie comes out, they'll make an X-Wing that I can get.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, especially with Disney involved now.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be very surprised if they didn't.
So, Brant, you keep an eye out, and when you see the first X-Wing go on sale in 15, you tell me, and I'm buying it.
Cool. So, as we wrap up this topic after our tiny little sidetrack there, anybody that's listened to this episode, if you can think of some lamer characters that should have been on this list, we'd love to hear your opinions on it. So,
absolutely.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap us up. So all we have to do is go around the table and, it's a small table this week.
Do a 180 and just look at me, and then do a 180 and look at you.
Right. We'll go back and forth and see what we got coming out, and going on. And obviously you're going to start. So
wait, what about... Oh, never mind then. Okay.
What?
I was going to say, what about this guy over here? But I'm like, oh, there's nobody sitting next to me this time, so fine. Fine. Start with me.
I could go ask the dog. I mean, I don't think she'd have anything to contribute, but, you never know.
Bones. Okay, I'm going to leave Hall of Toys and Gaming Zone for you to expand on. I'm just going to say that both of those
I thought that was in your announcement for a minute. I'm leaving Hall of Toys.
What?
What?
No, I'm not leaving nothing. I'm staying. If anything, I'm expanding. So, no, I'm not leaving. Thank you, Brant. Really. More people will listen to the show now thinking I left, and then they'll be like, oh, he's here. No. Hall of Toys and Gaming Zone. We'll be recording Gaming Zone next week. I don't know if it's going to come out the week after. And Hall of Toys is also the first live show will be next week, but I'll let Brant expand on that. As far as me, my channel, obviously because of Thanksgiving, comic books are going to be pushed over a day. They might come to my house tomorrow, maybe Sunday, now that the mail is delivered on Sunday. Obviously, today's Friday, they're not here, so can't start reading them. The indie review will probably be on time. It's the regular review that might actually be a couple of days late because of delivery purposes.
It's the holidays, people understand.
Of course, people are going to be away anyway, so I'm sure nobody's going to be upset if the review's a day or two late. Other than that, Comic Frontline, same as always. The regular, I think I have 3 reviews this week, and I might be doing another Funko Spotlight. I know Brent, you and Lisa did one last week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this week I'll probably grab one.
Okay.
Really, the biggest news I can think of is Brooklyn Boys, so I'll go into Brooklyn Boys. This past week, on Saturday, Brooklyn Boys, Mike and I have been so busy on Comic Frontline, and I've been doing stuff on Zone 4, my channel, and Mike's been doing stuff on Due to Rock, and we both have started Frontline Gaming Zone. For the past couple of years, since Dark Avenger Inc. started, I would like to say, and then it evolved into Comic Frontline and where we're at now, we took time away from Brooklyn Boys. You know, we said we were taking a minor break from Brooklyn Boys, and then we went back. We did legit go back. We went back and we did do some gaming bids, and we did a couple things here and there, but the skits really we stopped doing, and that was largely because of upload time. We didn't have the time because uploading was slow as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking Pony Express. So Brooklyn Boys kind of went on a 2.5 year, almost 3 year hiatus when it came to skits. The games and the Ultimate Brawl still went up. So this past weekend we broke that hiatus and we brought you guys a return video, a skit video, a 360, a Thanksgiving video because obviously it's Thanksgiving vacation, and then we concluded it all with a Thanksgiving 360, which now we're going into this weekend, and I have a couple of fun skits that we're probably going to do, at least one fun skit that I have in mind. And another we used to do 360s every week. I don't know if we're going to do it every week because that's what kind of I don't want to say bored us after a while, but you know, sometimes a week will pass and nothing will happen. When a week passes and nothing happens, we're not going to sit in front of a camera and go, nothing happened.
Right.
But we'll try to give you guys as many of those as we can. The biggest news is from there. Starting December 1st all the way through till December 25th, we are doing an event called the Brooklyn Boys 25 Advent Days of Game Miss. For 25 days, we are buying 25 new games, which we will show each and every day from December 1st all the way through until Christmas Day, December 25th. We've already got a bulk of the games bought. I believe we are 4 games away from completion. We are going to be throwing 3 games in that come out this month that we were going to buy. Mike has 2 new games he was buying. I have 1. So those are going to be part of Game Miss also. And we got, well, other than those 3 games, we still have a total of 22 other games that aren't brand new, but we wanted them for so long, and we decided this is the best excuse to get them. And I'm actually looking at about 8 of them right now. So we're ready. We're going to be starting to record this weekend, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be, like I said, a game a day. And it's our first Brooklyn Boy event, honestly. We've never really done events. We've done more like series. So this is going to be a first and probably last, because I'll be honest, this was a hefty. Even with 3 people buying, it's a hefty thing. Either that or our events will be less buying and more doing.
Yeah.
So this was definitely a hefty one. But we wanted to do this. You know, we love, like I said in the beginning, we love everybody who takes the time out to watch our videos, who enjoys what we do. I mean, Brooklyn Boys, even though it's a bunch of random, crazy, nutso skits where people are like, what the hell's wrong with you people? the main theme of Brooklyn Boys has always been inspiration and a promotion of, you can do anything you set your mind to do. We've always set out to inspire people, and I know a lot of people who've commented us through the years said they were inspired to make a YouTube channel because of us. 2 people got married because they met each other through us, and we've just, a lot of people, I know a few people that were going through a very deep depression, and our videos brought joy and laughter into their lives, and it got them through their depression and out of it. And to me, to be able to have accomplished that already, and to know that we still have the potential to do that to this day, that is motivation enough for me to want to continue doing Brooklyn Boys. I've always wanted to help people, and knowing that Brooklyn Boys has reached out and touched so many people in so many special ways, and we don't do it for money. We don't have AdSense on Brooklyn Boys, and we're not planning to get AdSense on Brooklyn Boys. Would money help for props and stuff? Absolutely, I'm not going to lie. But would we straight up say, okay, we're putting ads on our videos for it? No. Brooklyn Boys has always been something myself, my brother, and whoever else has joined us on our crazy, wild journey. The one thing we don't do Brooklyn Boys for is for money. We do it for the sheer joy of doing the videos and the sheer knowledge of knowing that somebody out there is getting something from it, is benefiting from it, it makes somebody's day. If they're having a bad day, they watch a video, it makes them happy. As long as it touches somebody in some way positive, then that's enough for us on Brooklyn Boys. That's more than enough. That's more than we could even ask for, honestly. And that's that. Other than that, that's all I've got for this week.
Okay, cool. And I'm sure on the gaming podcast we'll talk a little bit about some of your games for games, just because I'm sure by the time it goes live, you'll have already started the event, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, because it'll be a weekend. It'll be on the December 1st is Monday, so figure 7 days from then. 8. Yeah, there'll be 8 games. We'll have revealed 8 games.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about those then.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, for me, let's say that the NaNoWriMo thing that I was doing is probably going to be an epic failure this year, but at least I tried. I didn't try very hard. I'll admit, I just ran out of time to write, unfortunately. But yeah, I've got like most of the novel still left to write, and only 3 days left to write.
Oh wow! Brand is a very busy person. A lot of people ask for you on in messages about since I started Epic Rewind, which is supposed to be affiliated with Zone 4, but I don't think you posted any yet.
I have not. It will get up there, though.
Okay, but I am saying on here that Epic Rewind is affiliated with Zone 4. It's not a definite weekly series, but whenever it does go live, it is affiliated with Zone 4. A lot of people ask for you, Brant, and I have to. And I think in the last show, I told everybody you were going to be on the Smash show. And at the end of the show, I think somebody commented or somebody messaged me during the show, "Where's Brant?" And at the end, I had mentioned, you're very busy, you do a lot of work, and I know your work schedule is ridiculous at times.
Yeah. Plus, was it last week that I had dental work done? Yeah, it was last week.
It was last week.
Yeah, so it was like the day after I'd had some dental work done, and I was honestly, full disclosure, I was pain medded up and asleep. So at that point, I was just not feeling really well, and I had a busy day that day. Had a lot of work that I had to do, and I just I had full intentions on being on the show, and I just kind of crashed because of the. I think that's what I messaged you, right?
Yeah, you messaged me. I think you woke up at 3 and you're like, "Oh God, I slept through everything."
Yeah.
It was fine. We had a good time. I learned how to fix my Google Plus after that event because the Frontline Live went off very well. Knock wood. This past Tuesday without as much of a problem as Epic Rewind, and there's always, there's going to be more episodes. I might skip out on this week's episode for Hall of Toys specifically. But that's just because I want people to come check out the first episode of the live Hall of Toys. Right.
So, yeah, I will definitely be making appearances on Epic Rewind. I obviously won't be on every episode, but I'll do as much as I can.
Well, again, I made sure to make it a point to say Epic Rewind is not a weekly series. It's a when I have the time series. It just, ironically right now, for the past couple of weeks has been a weekly series. But
Mm-hmm.
Epic Rewind is when I have the free time and when there's stuff to discuss. If there's nothing to discuss, I'm not just going to go live and, sit there and talk about nonsense. I'm not just
Right.
going to sit there and BS about stuff that I've already discussed and things like that. It's if I have something to talk about, I'll do it. That's why I tell everybody to follow my Twitter, because I think I'm going to start, now that the holiday season's here, I'm going to start tweeting when I'm going to do an Epic Rewind live, as opposed to when I'm not, because it's going to be more not than is, especially because of the holiday season. So
Right, of course.
I'm urging all you guys, it's twitter.com/DarkAvengersC86. I will, November was a big gaming month, so we had a lot to talk about, but now with December, it's a lot of, I have to go out and buy presents for the family and everything, and Friday nights especially are going to be a bit hard, but I made sure to make it a point to say Epic Rewind is not a weekly series. It is a live show when I have the time to do it.
Yeah. All right, so, yeah.
We were on you. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. It's okay. But, yeah, you can look for me on Epic Rewind from time to time. Let's see. I was talking about NaNoWriMo. I am wrapping up letters on Open Tree number 2, Fluke of Love from Assailant Comics. I've got all the pages done, just have to do the some corrections. And then that will be another issue for Assailant wrapped up, and then I'll be jumping on a couple more books for them. Henchman, all the lettering is done. We are just putting up the final touches on the second issue, doing a letters page and a couple of pinups and things like that, and then it'll be off to Monkey Brain for publication as well. Let's see. Hall of Toys. Like Chris mentioned, we'll be recording that next week, likely, possibly Friday.
Yep.
And it will be a live show. It will be on the Zone 4 YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Zone4podcast. And, it'll be Chris and I. If we're going to have anybody else on, I don't know at this point. But it'll at least be Chris and I. And it'll just be toys and board games. All the gaming stuff, in case you don't know, we moved to the gaming podcast, which Chris continues to call Gaming Zone, which we still have not officially decided.
I'm being honest, Brent. By the time we record the first podcast episode, it's probably going to be Gaming Zone. I mean, look, I'm not going to spoil your thing with Lisa that you're probably going to announce here also, but same time, you know how you are with the title? At this point, I think that's how I feel about the title as well.
Oh, okay.
I've just gotten so used to calling it that it's like I want it to be Gaming Zone now just because I've been calling it that for months. So might as well just go with it.
Oh, that's your fault. I told you not to.
I can't help it.
Anyway, so Gaming Zone will be we'll be recording that this week. It will go on Frontline Gaming Zone. That's why I didn't want to call it Gaming Zone, everybody, because it's on Frontline Gaming Zone. But anyway, it'll be on Frontline Gaming Zone probably the second week of December then. That Tuesday or whatever, whichever day we decide we're going to make it go live. Which we'll be talking about all the latest games. I know Chris has got a whole bunch to talk about for that. For going back to Hall of Toys real quick, I have a bunch of board game stuff I can talk about. We're going to obviously talk about toys. We'll probably talk about like toys to look for Christmas gifts and that kind of thing. It seems like a good theme to me. And, so it's going to be fun. It's the next evolution of Hall of Toys, broken into 2 different shows. One's an audio podcast still, which is Gaming Zone, and one's a video live show, which is Hall of Toys. And I've mentioned in the past, eventually, not right away, but eventually we will be taking the audio from Hall of Toys, combining it, and putting it up as an audio file for iTunes. So we'll see what happens.
Well, what you could do is you could take the audio from Hall of Toys and put it with the audio from Gaming Zone, since we're probably going to be recording them in the same week, and just make it one big show.
Yeah,
like a segmented show. Segment 1 being the gaming, segment 2 being Hall of Toys.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, that's what you were. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant together, as in separate shows, but at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh.
So for all you that listen to it via iTunes or whatever, you might still be getting the gaming and the Hall of Toys on the same show.
Just in different order.
Right. We'll just it'll be 2 complete different shows combined together. We'll just have to play with it and see what works. Mm-hmm. But right now you can expect the new version of Hall of Toys to go live next week. and very excited about that. And I think that's it.
I'm very excited. If I could say one thing I'm very excited for, I'm excited for what is going to happen with Zone4Podcast.com after episode 300. I'm excited to see what new things might come in the coming year of 2015. Yeah. I'm really excited for that, and I'm going to type to you what I'm excited for the most.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to type it.
All right. As you're typing that.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
I want one of those. We must have one of those if we go that route.
All right. So yeah, speaking of that, 300th episode goes live on December 19th, which very short time away. Don't know what we're doing yet still. We always say that at every anniversary show. We don't know what we're doing until the last minute, but there is talk of doing a live show, probably live audio, as Ron has issues with the video. So if we do a live show, it'll be live audio, and that means fan interaction. We'll definitely give you guys a heads up so you can participate if at all possible. December 19th is a Friday, so it would be recorded on probably Friday night or possibly Friday morning. This depends. So we'll see.
Well, what you could do if they want to do audio is you can go live, like what I did with Ron on the 200th, and just put everybody else on Skype speaker and just let them talk through you.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
You're just going to have to do a dance or something in the background while they're talking.
We'll see. We'll work something out. It'll be fun. But, there was actually a wrestling podcast I listened to. It used to be on, it's not Twitch. It was another channel like that. I think it was Justin.tv or something, where the main host would be on video, but the rest of them would still be audio. Mm-hmm. And so you would just see him like doing whatever while they were, so it was exactly like that, like you're talking about. But
yeah. Oh, I have to ask one question since this is Zone 4. You watched the pay-per-view for WWE this past Sunday, right?
Oh, of course. Sting's
back. Tell me that didn't just set you crazy when that happened at the end.
Dude, I'm a Sting fan since day one, First time I saw him, but way back in the 80s. I've always loved Sting, so that was huge for me, seeing him finally come to WWE. That was just, I'm glad he's ending his career on that note. I mean, obviously he's not done yet. He's going to probably wrestle. But
he'll probably do like a year.
Yeah.
Or he could do what The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan does, show up for certain events, do a little story arc, disappear for a while, come back. Michael said he got really old looking. I haven't seen a current picture, but I was excited when I heard he came back.
I don't think he's old looking. It's just he's losing his hair.
That could be why.
Yeah, that's it. His hair is very thin. But no, he could still go though. He looked.
Of course.
Yeah, he looked like Sting, just with less hair. So that's all.
He could listen. You don't need hair. If Hulk Hogan's proven anything, it's that you can go without hair.
Exactly. And let's keep in mind, Steve Borden, which is Sting's real name, is 55 years old.
I'm looking at an image right now.
Yeah.
Wow, big deal. So the top of his head's a little open. You know what he should do? Just shave his head bald like what Triple H did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Shawn Michaels. If you ever see Shawn Michaels when he doesn't have his hair pulled back, he's far more balder than Sting.
Exactly. And you know what? Sting's hair is pushed back. If his hair was pushed forward, and let's not forget his hair is a light color, it blends in with his scalp. He's not as bald as you think he is.
Yeah. So, it would have been great if he had came back in 2001, but I'm just happy to see him there. And it was a great moment when he came in for that purpose, and it was cool. It was kind of epic. So.
Absolutely. I'm saying absolutely.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, for all my fellow wrestling fans, and I know we do have some wrestling fans that listen to the show, for me personally, best Survivor Series in years. And not just because of Sting, just the whole event was amazing. So.
I agree. I heard the results, I heard the matches, it sounded amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, when it comes to Sting though, Sting was my WCW, every time I watched WCW, it was to watch for Sting, or if it was to watch to see what the NWO was going to do. So Sting is a humongous staple in my wrestling fandom, so to speak.
Right.
So if Sting's back, I will watch anything Sting is on when it comes to WWE.
Yeah, totally. But, thankfully for you, I know you're not a huge wrestling fan anymore, he's not going to be on week to week, so you're not going to have to watch it weekly.
That or when I hear he comes out is when I'll go to
exactly.
and watch, and then I will. My dad still watches wrestling religiously, religiously. So, I hear things from time to time. I mean, I did watch a little bit of Raw at the beginning when Triple H and Stephanie got thrown out. I mean, I watched that part. I liked it. Daniel Bryan's return was another good thing.
If you had sat through the whole 3 hours, though, you would have been like, God, this is a lot of crap. It was a really bad show, but yeah, there were a couple of good things happen like that. So. But overall, it was a bad show. The pay-per-view was fantastic. Raw, not so much. But anyway.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch the pay-per-view, but I know I have it on the WWE Network.
Yeah.
So I'll probably check it out.
You should at least watch the main event.
Yeah, I heard the main event was spectacular.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm just sad that the Big Show took a heel turn. I like him as a face, so I don't know.
I'd like him to figure out what and who he is and stick with that. That's what I'd like.
He's a good face. When he was in the NWO, okay, fine, but I agree with you, Brad. He needs to figure out what he is and stick with it.
Right.
It's like John Cena. Everybody wants to see him turn heel, but he's too much of a glory. He likes to be the good guy, so this way, his stuff sells. Because when a person turns heel, the stuff sells a lot harder. The sales are a lot harder to make on a heel. I mean, did you really would you even consider buying that spinny US title until John Cena turned face? No, because you don't want his crappy, but that's like the Rated R Superstar belt. I know a lot of Edge fans bought it, but people who didn't like Edge's personality or his heel, I wouldn't even think about it because I don't like what Edge did with Matt Hardy and Lita, but that's beside the point. That's outside the ring personal stuff.
I don't know. I like John Cena better as a heel, but that's me.
I agree. I think he should be because he just, as a face, he's annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, he is the modern day Hulk Hogan. And
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. If he's going to turn eventually, it's got to be the right time.
True.
So.
Maybe we'll start like a John Cena WO or something. CWO and wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
You will not.
No,
you will
won't.
not.
You will not still CWO.
No, CWO is copyright to us here. Comic World Order, you cannot have that. Sorry, buddy. You can go get something else.
Man, this
CR, you can call it crap WO for all I care, but you ain't taking my logo that me and Brent made. No, make your own.
He can just stick with his C Nation.
Keep the C Nation WO, whatever. With your C men and C women.
Oh man. Anyway, that's enough for that tangent for this show. Eventually, maybe you'll see me doing a wrestling podcast. I have been asked, but nothing ever came of it. A couple of times actually. So
I would be able to sit in on it if Mike sat with me because I know Michael watches everything. So at least I'd be able to bounce off of him with like memories and with popping in and out. I would probably, if I was on it, I would probably pop in and out of Raw. I don't think the SmackDown. I think is Friday, and that's when we do stuff. So it would depend on the week.
Yeah, it's a nothing show anyway.
It is? I thought so. Okay, so then it doesn't matter.
A lot of times they repeat the main events from Raw.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they did this match on Raw, so here's the rematch. It's like that.
Oh, so they rematch. Oh, so it's not the same match.
No. Yeah, they do rematch, or it's basically just kind of Raw light. It's very. You don't have to watch it to keep up. I barely ever watch SmackDown anymore because of that. Yeah. Because
my dad does watch that also, but like I'll watch Raw from time to time, but SmackDown, I noticed that on Fridays I never.
Well,
there's nothing that catches my ear.
The thing is, if anything meaningful happens on SmackDown, they'll recap it on Raw anyway. So
something happened with Sergeant Slaughter. Was that on Raw? Yeah, it was on Raw. It was this past Raw. Yeah. That was spectacular. I loved that. I loved that match. That was great.
I can't hear you.
That was good.
Yeah.
I want to see Rusev versus oh god, his name was in me and then I lost it. Who is he fighting? Shoot.
Jack Swagger?
Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
With Sergeant Slaughter.
That would be
in
cool.
Jack Swagger's corner.
Maggot.
You know what? I like to see Sergeant Slaughter beat the crap out of Rusev himself.
For a minute there, he was taking off his hat. He was about to go G.I. Joe up in that.
I want to see him fight him just once. This is Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, shoot.
He's like the American embodiment. He is G.I. Joe. He has to. I mean, if anybody from WWE is listening to this, you have to have Sergeant Slaughter fight Rusev. Even my mom walked in and watched that.
You know, maybe not a full-on fight, but I wouldn't mind if he just got him in the Cobra Clutch. Just put him in the Cobra Clutch. Oh, man, this is a fun sidetrack, but we should wrap up the show here. So
have a wrestling podcast to add to the end of this show.
But yeah, so tune in for the 300th episode. Of course, tune in next week as we'll have some semblance of a cast back for episode 298 with some kind of topic that we have yet to determine. It'll be fun, whatever it happens. So
week 4.
Yeah.
Week 4 Convergence.
So, we'd like to thank the official bands of Zone 4, the Raywall Band and Society's plugged here on the show each and every week. We are also proud members of the Comic Related Podcast Network. You can find us on Comic Related, Comic Frontline, iTunes, Stitcher, and Comics Podcasts each and every Friday. Until our holiday break, anyway. If you have any
Zone 4 is viral. It's everywhere in a good way.
Yes. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for us, or if you'd like to suggest a new podcast for us to do, or if you'd like to tell Chris something, anything, I don't know. You can
hell, podcasting networks.
Ask him where It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Podcast disappeared to.
It did. It disappeared into Epic Rewind. Epic Rewind is an alternate title for It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Podcast, and it takes away comic books and adds other random stuff to it. A few people did ask me that.
He hated my title.
I did not hate your title. I hated the fact that I had to sit there and edit for hours the audio because I would screw up so much. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do a live show, so if I screw up live, and I don't have to worry about editing because YouTube gets it automatically.
And he still changed the name, though.
Well, I was going to keep it Dark Avenger Live, but then I remember why we left Dark Avenger Inc. was to get away from the Marvel-centric title.
But anyway, you can leave those comments at zone4@comicrelated.com.
I'm going to get such hate mail now.
As always, thanks for listening. You are now leaving Zone 4.
I'm going to hell.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
This is only a test for the X-Men.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.
Bonk!